Today evening, I had a QSO with UA9FGR on 21.225 MHz SSB. After giving me 5.7 report, he surprised me by mentioning that we had a contact in 1989 on 40 meter CW. Obviously, he has a digitized log data back to decades, which I do not. But I know that I have worked several DX stations in those days on CW on 40 meter, and I do have a few QSL cards of those days still with me as a precious collection. It was with my 3x807 vacuum tube homebrew radio with 120 watt DC input onto a dipole antenna tied on top of tall coconut trees. Antenna hosting was done by throwing nylon ropes tied to stones over the leaves of coconut trees. To be exact, my radio was a hybrid one with VFO of the VU to VWN QRP, which I had made earlier. The modulator for AM was also a solid state audio amplifier, as the radio needed a lot of audio power for plate modulation. Anyway, quite happy that I am still there on the logs of my old contacts. Here is a recording of part of our QSO today.
In a very long time, John, we had a contact with you back in 1989. You think 1989 on 40 meters CW. So very glad to work you again after a very long time, John. I'm running 500 watts and multi-band Yagi currently. Back to you. UA9FGR.
What a surprise! UA9FGR VU2 Juliet Oscar. Thanks a lot for the operating condition. I used to work CW on 40 meter in 1989 with homebrew radio, 120 watts, 3x807 wall radio in those days. That's a long story. Very good that you have old logs there. Thanks a lot for remembering from the old logs, which is of course likely to be computerized. Back to you. UA9 Foxtrot Golf Romeo VU2 Juliet Oscar.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you so much for this contact. Thank you so much for giving me a shot. I'm wishing you all the very best to you and all of you there. And looking forward to talking to you again. You too, Japan Oscar, UA9 Fox Golf Romeo. Back to you for any final shot.
Roger, that's real surprise. I was always thinking whether my old contacts are still there because it was long back and I was off the air for quite a long time. Came back on HF only in January 2024 with a new radio, Fox Tango 710, running about 100 watts into a combination 40 10 meter dipole, which also works on 21 megahertz as third harmonic of 40 meter antenna. So thanks a lot, and thanks a lot for remembering the old QSO 73s, and all the best to you. UA9 Foxtrot Golf Romeo VU2JO for any possible final. Bye bye.
Yeah, okay, John, thank you so much for the information about your setup there, which is doing a great job for you. Celebrate and keep well, my friend. UA9FGR not clear.
Bye bye. Last year, VU2JOS had surprised me by sending a message mentioning that our first QSO on 40 meter was 38 years back, which corresponded to a date when both of us were on VU to VWN QRP. My RX in those days was a Philips Prestige 4-band vacuum tube BC radio, which belonged to my father.